Hello, and welcome back to Once Upon a Nightmare. For this next scary story, we're going to be going over top 10 Spirit Halloween spooky descriptions. That's right. For this story, we're going to Spirit Halloween this time. There are 10 spooky animatronics made by Spirit Halloween, and I'm going to be reading all of their descriptions. So get ready, because these stories will scare your socks off. Are you ready? Here we go! Number 10. The Cremator. It's an industry secret that some funeral homes don't use a machine to burn the dead, but instead call the cremator. He has a true passion for small businesses and helps them cut incarnation costs by providing his services free of charge. It's a bargain, really. He disposes the body and offers ash back in return. What goes unspoken is the real fee the cremator collects. His clientele wouldn't exist if they knew all the unsavory details. Before he unleashes his unholy orange flames, he devours the last remaining pieces of the soul. Depending on the person, the soul remnants can taste like fine wine or a spoiled gallon of milk. But again, the cremator doesn't dine and tell. Get ready to sacrifice your souls. The cremator has come to collect. Number 9. Cotton Candy Dan. Having his big top act interrupted one too many times by loud heckling and gluttonous chewing gave Cotton Candy Dan a bad taste in his mouth, and he decided this would be his last show. Later that evening, Cotton met Jim, his worst offender, wandering around inebriated while stuffing cotton candy into his mouth. He decided it was time for revenge. Cotton lunged at Jim, catching him off guard. By the sheer force of Cotton's anger and broken dreams, Jim was instantly paralyzed and plunged into darkness. Cotton claimed his first victim that night, but Jim's beady eyes can still be seen as Cotton steers Jim's tortured head into his simmering cotton candy brew nightly. Once you see Cotton Candy Dan's menacing face and poor Jim's haunting expression, you'll think twice before heckling a carnival performer. Number 8. Bobby Strings. Bobby was destined to be in the limelight. His relentless rehearsal routine, filled with tap dances and careful ballet movements, was bound to pay off eventually. His hard work was finally recognized when a new dance instructor offered to teach him solo choreography after hours. But before he could warm up his legs, he was knocked out cold from behind. The demented instructor strung up his limp body from the rafters and lifted his limbs in an exhausting pattern of twists and pileys to the rhythm of a cursed waltz for 6 days straight, transforming a healthy boy into an obedient, pain-ridden wooden puppet. Now, he performs in the cruel glow of stage lights across the world as the demented instructor's plaything. Here's your warning not to get too tied up with any Bobby Strings business, or you might end up suffering the same fate as this dummy for Halloween. Number 7. The Cauldroness. Boil, bubble, toil, and trouble. The Cauldroness has been alive since the original Witch's Sabbath, creaking across the earth for hundreds of years, fueled by her wicked potion. She meticulously gathers the ingredients, scouring the earth for its rare and delicate ingredients. But the one she needs the most isn't found at the local cemetery. It's only found pumping inside your chest. And the fresher it is, the better for the culturedness. So you best keep your kids close and your eyes open if you hear her muttering her recipe. Avoid becoming a part of the culturedness's next witch's brew by staying far away this Halloween. She'll be ready to brew up another potion from the remains of one of her unlucky victims. Number 6. Stilts. Juggling can be a cutthroat competition, and Stilts would do anything to be the best in the business, even if it meant knocking out the competition permanently. He was sure his 10-pin juggling act would impress the judges, but when he lost to a chainsaw-tossing lumberjack, he couldn't handle it. So Stilts used his 10 pins and took out the competition permanently. Now he stalks the city streets begging to impress unsuspecting onlookers with his act, but they better cheer loud enough, otherwise it's the last show they will ever see. It's like they say, show business can be quite cutthroat. Stilts always loves to perform for an audience, but better be sure to cheer him on or he might take you out next. Number 5. Nozzles the Clown. Terry was on top of the world. He was a famous clown and one of the world's greatest daredevils. That is until he fell victim to one of his stunts. A dangerous escape act from a glass tank filled with poisonous gas in front of a live audience. The crowd oohed and awed as they watched the clown struggle to escape. Terry was told by the circus that the toxic smog couldn't harm him, but he learned the hard way. You can't trust anyone. Now Terry follows the circus from town to town, haunting attendees and dispersing the toxic gas that took his life. Don't get in his way, or he'll gas you out too. Number 4. Monty. It's all fun and games until your favorite toy turns into a 6-foot terror with symbols, a lust for killing, and the eyes of a demon. Monty was every kid's favorite toy from yesteryear, delighting generations of kids with his antics. Now he sends them running for cover, all because one little boy wished and wished for his favorite toy to come to life. So, if you hear the cymbals banging, you'd better duck, or it might be the last sound you ever hear. After years and years of being forced to appease children, Monty is ready for a new gig. Number 3. The Widow. Hell hath no fury like a scorned woman. When she caught her cheating husband with her sister on October 30th, it gave a whole new definition to Mischief Night. Let's say dragging 2 bodies from the bedroom to the local lake can put a crick in anyone's neck. That plus tripping on the roots of a cypress tree and tumbling down the muddy hill and breaking your neck. So now, when anyone in town hears a twig snap, they jump in fear that the widow and her broken neck are there to take them to a watery grave. You don't want to be in the path of this widow when she goes berserk. You'll never forget the sounds of the widow once you hear her hysterical cries of screaming and laughter for yourself. Number 2. 2 scoops. I scream, you scream, we all are screaming and running for our lives. 2 Scoops wasn't always a 2-headed monster. Jim and Tim were a lovable twin clown duo perfect for birthday parties and balloon animals. But something happened at the local ice cream social. Tim and Jim didn't know that the last batch of the mint chip wasn't supposed to be radioactive green. and now they are forced to perform their duo act forever. Number 1. Lil Jack Carver. It was always Jack be nimble or Jack be quick. The orphaned farm boy was sick and tired of being bossed around by his foster family. With only the moon to guide him, he snuck out into the pumpkin patch one night to smash their prized gourd as payback. Unfortunately, he only got as far as the first coyote trap. Not so nimble and quick after all. Now, Pumpkin Boy crouches in wait, hidden in the patch's overgrown vines, holding tightly to his demonic jack-o'-lantern and waiting for the next unfortunate pumpkin picker to cross his path. Human bones make the best fertilizer. Let Jack always be a reminder not to wander into the pumpkin patch late at night. The end. That was all of the 10 Spirit Halloween animatronic spooky descriptions. Let me know in the comments which one was the scariest and which one that scared your socks off. But until then, happy Halloween. I will see you in the next nightmare.